he was rejected by art school. He was a failed soldier. He fought in the army, but he got hurt and he had to retire, So he was a person who was rejected by society. He grew up in a broken family, a lot of trauma there. So this person, when he projected himself on society, a massive inferiority complex, and his way of projecting, yes, of course, he was supposed to be sexually impotent as well, though that might be a psychological projection. I don't want to talk too much about this person, but the thing is, we're just saying this because you said sociopath, and for me, the best example of a sociopath is Hitler, that we know of in the recent past. So his thing came through rejection. His way of projecting from Manipura, his Manipura is of course very powerful. He had that thing, charisma, that we talked about in the morning. But his way of doing it was by rejecting the people. He made the people who believed in him go to war and kill themselves. That means if you believe me, you need to commit suicide. Yeah. Not you'll die for me, no. Not you'll die for me, this is different. That's like a general or something in the army. This is very different. Rejection is, if you accept this person, means you are rejected. There is a very small thing of this in love. A guy and a girl like each other, okay? Or let's say it starts with the classic example of a guy liking a girl first, okay? She maybe hasn't noticed his presence yet and follows her around, strikes up conversations and blah, 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 blah. And it's a process of, how can I say, what do you call this process? What do you call this process? Courtship. Courtship. And at the end of the courting, what happens? I mean, if he's successful, how do you term it? You term this courtship. So how would you term the conclusion of a courtship?
Entering into a relationship, maybe?
All right. And in this case, what happens is, when the courtship finishes, the phase of courtship finishes, the phase of relationship begins, and in between is the phase of acquiescence on the part of whichever party is being courted. Generally, people feel that the excitement level of the thing comes down after that. This is rejection. If you accept to love me, I reject you. I know this is hard to understand, but this is why things get less exciting inside relationships as the years progress, or even weeks progress in today's fast time. Yeah. Ultra fast time. So, yes, so that's the way. And we have to be very careful about this. We have invented terms for this, like taking for granted. But these are terms. They don't have any meaning behind it. They're politically correct terms meant to hide ugly truth. So we have to accept whether our love is born out of acceptance or rejection. The thing is very different. These two loves are very different. And so, how did we get to that in the first place? Sociopaths. Yes. So of course, sociopaths, their love is born out of rejection. They also love. Hitler loved German people. He really did. But if they loved him back, that would be suicidal. because then you would have to reject them.
There's a bit I'm not getting here. Can you just explain how in a relationship if you chase someone and then they say, okay, I accept you, how is that a rejection?
That is not the rejection.
Which bit is?
The acceptance is the act that leads to the rejection.
How?
This goes down to something very instinctive. It's the instinctive disdain that a predator has for the prey that is weak.
I get it.
Yeah.
So as long as you're chasing something and haven't caught it yet,
Yes,
you
well,
still respect it. Once you've